Hello world, it is Monday, July 13th. I'm back from vacation today. Got my mask on that I went to the doctor this morning. It's pretty handy because it's always on my neck. To follow up on my finger, I dislocated my finger just the first day I was on vacation. I was out for a run. And the only thing I could think of is I stepped on a plastic packing strap, those plastic straps that wrap around boxes. Didn't see it, must have stepped on it. It flipped up and caught it with my other foot, and I went down hard and dislocated my pinky, scuffed up my hand and my elbow, bruised my right knee. But I went for a run this morning and felt okay. So it's getting better slowly. Got some work to do to get my range of motion back in my finger, but it seems to be healing nicely. It's a beautiful day this morning. Actually got into the low 60s this overnight, and low humidity. It's a gorgeous day for a run. Enjoy the next couple days because I think the heat's coming back closer to the end of the week. Today's devotional is entitled The Bodies and the Body, and it's written by Molly Baskett. And she's based it on 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verses 3 through 6, and excerpted sections of that reading from the New Revised Standard Version. For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that each one of you know how to control your own body in holiness and honor, not with lustful passion, that no one wrong or exploit a brother or sister or sibling in this matter. And Molly writes, maybe you think the scripture is all about sex. Isn't everything about sex? But in reality, there are a lot of ways we use our bodies that exploit others. The twin pandemics of the novel coronavirus and the not-so-novel racial injustice have revealed the astonishing degree to which our enfleshed lives are interconnected and integrated. I feel fine, but if I sneeze at the wrong moment, maskless, my elderly, immunocompromised sister could die. I'm not in any real danger, but if I call the cops because I see something unfamiliar, my black, brown immigrant brother could die. This is not chaos theory. It is bodies acting upon other bodies with grave consequences. From what we eat to where we shop, to whether and when we mask, to whom we call on for help when we feel under threat, our choices have deep ethical implications. We are suddenly and critically aware that our body is deeply connected to and responsible for the one great body. The complexity of these ethical equations might cause us to numb out if we have that choice and stay in a sweet retail haze, hoarding soup or buying safety with other people's suffering. Or we could go into a moral panic and be paralyzed from doing anything at all, because in a labyrinthine global economy, it's impossible to be 100% morally pure. Fans of The Good Place? Feel me? There's a way through this quandary. Stop, pray, and listen for God to tell you their will. They will. In Molly's prayer. God, I want what everyone wants, to be safe and have enough through this turbulent, terrifying moment. Yet not my will, but thine be done. Amen. Well, again, there's a lot to think about in this devotional this morning. I think the biggest thing that strikes me is when we go through this life, we have to go through this life with concern for others, with concern for ourselves as well, but also with concern for others. I mean, that's really what the bulk of wearing the mask is. I mean, this particular fabric mask, it's not going to stop a virus from getting through. It's not a medical mask by any stretch of the imagination. So it's not really meant to protect me so much as protect others. It is fine enough to protect any droplets of spit or nasal excretions that may come out of me when I talk or sneeze or cough. It can stop those and slow those down and minimize how much I'm actually getting out into the air. So wearing a mask is really about protecting other people from you. And you may feel fine, but you could have the virus and not even know it. Or you could have the virus and have not yet come down with symptoms, and yet that is when you are most contagious. So it's really about thinking about other people. Same thing with making choices about shopping and investing in those sorts of things. It does you good, does the world good to be responsible and to think about the choices that you make, with the knowledge that no matter what you do, nothing's perfect. I mean, there's, as she stated, in this labyrinthine global economy, it's impossible to be 100% morally pure. We just can't. But we should try to do what we can with what we have and where we are. So I hope that gives you some things to think about today, and I hope to see you soon. A consistory of St. John UCC will be meeting next Monday, and we'll be talking about when and how we will be resuming in-person worship. We've been holding off to see what happens with the reopening of the economy in Ohio, and it's a little concerning because while we were averaging 300 to 400 new cases a day before the economy reopened, we are now somewhere around 1,300 per day. Luckily, Defiance County is still holding their own. So I think that's one of the conscious decisions we have to make is, what do we look at? Do we look at what's happening in the state, or do we look at what's happening more locally and make decisions based on that? So those are the kinds of things we're going to be discussing. But we're always going to be discussing them with regards to protecting you. So hope you have a good day, and thanks for the vacation time. And it's good to be back. Talk to you soon.